Well, good evening, everybody. We have a fairly quiet night across the bi-state region after that gusty wind most of the day here on Tuesday. We managed to get to 56, but I don't think it felt like 56. Maybe you did, but you know, that wind was still awfully gusty today. And we had a cold start, down to 24 degrees this morning. Not as cold as yesterday, but still. So 49 and 30 are the averages for this time of year. We end up pretty close to average when you mix those numbers up. No rain, no snow, not going to see any tonight. In fact, it's just mainly cloudy through the overnight hours. We're dropping into the low and mid 30s. And the winds have settled down quite a bit, not nearly as gusty. They'll settle some more towards daybreak. And temperatures aren't dropping all that fast. We do have this little front sliding in from the north. It's trying to kick off a little bit of rain here and there. But the reality is the air is so dry. You may have seen that today or felt it with chapped lips. Maybe your skin, washing your hands a few times today, your skin gets a little cracked and such. You know, on the radar pictures, we do see a little bit of rain there. If there's even a few sprinkles reaching the ground, we'd kind of be shocked by that. But otherwise, we expect it to be mostly cloudy tomorrow morning. We're above freezing in the 30s. We'll be back to 42 degrees by 9 o'clock, but the winds do become northerly tomorrow, about 5 miles per hour. So you're not talking about those big gusts like we saw on Tuesday. Wednesday's a much quieter day. The sun will be behind the clouds, in and out. So at least some sunshine, but we definitely say it would be limited. We should top out around 55 degrees. That'll be about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And then during the evening, the clouds will once again start to thicken across the region. So here we are at 6 o'clock Wednesday night. This is your futurecast. We have another system coming in Wednesday night into early on Thursday morning. Again, the moisture is fairly limited with this, but it may be able to squeeze out a little bit of light rain here and there, maybe some snow farther to our north. I don't think that's going to bother any of our counties. And for many of us, the rain is going to be hard to come by. So we're thinking if we see these showers in St. Louis, rain showers, we're only getting a few hundred. So a worst case scenario for early Thursday morning would be a scenario where the roads are still a little bit damp. We're not talking about any heavy rain out of this. And then later Thursday afternoon, we'll see temperatures again in the mid 50s and the sun comes back Thursday afternoon. Skies will clear out. It gets warmer Friday, we're close to 70. Saturday, we're going with upper 60s. Now, Saturday into Sunday, the colder air starts coming back. So this 68 on Saturday is probably around lunchtime. And then through the afternoon hours, we expect temperatures from north to south to start dropping off. And Sunday's a totally different day. Of course, that's the first day of March. Look at this. Your cold front comes through Saturday morning. Traditionally, your colder air does lag behind the front some. So that's why we think we'll still have Saturday morning, you know, in a decent mid to upper 60s scenario. But the colder air settles in, and then we bring in a little wave along this front. Front's going to be stalled out down to our south for the beginning of next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Then it starts to lift back to the north. Now, as long as it's down here, we're still on the cooler side, and every little wave will have a chance to produce some rain. The big question is, and you see it right here, this is the European model showing some snow north of St. Louis. It's not out of the question, but it's too soon to get too ramped up about this, all right? We're still a few days out. There's a lot of uncertainty. Some of the computer models take all of the precip to our south and push dry air in here so that we get nothing. No rain, no snow, just clouds. Others pull this farther north and take any wintry precipitation well to our north. So at this point, no weather impact alert for Sunday night into early Monday, and that would be when it would be if we're going to have some minor problems. But we think at this point, if we are going to have some problems, it's not big impacts because temperatures are just a little too warm. Now that's all subject to change. You see the warm up coming here for the end of the week. We get above average for sure here, Thursday and Friday, but then that cooler air starts filtering in as we go into Saturday and Sunday. And eventually the warmer temperatures do start to return as we head towards the middle and end of next week. But reality here is that this fast warm-up Friday and into Saturday is pretty quick. And then we start March, not necessarily like a lion, but I wouldn't say it's like a lamb either. we're talking about temperatures in the 40s, maybe some light rain. Again, going into Sunday night, the potential's there for some light rain, maybe mixed with snow, maybe some sort of wintry mix. We don't know at this point what will happen Sunday night into Monday morning. There's just chances. Now, they're pretty decent chances, but there's a lot of uncertainty here. And temperatures, as you see, overnight lows dropping around freezing. If they're a couple of degrees warmer, it's not an issue at all. If they're a couple of degrees colder, then potentially we have bigger problems. What we're going to do is we're going to go another 24-hour cycle here, or at least another 12 to 18-hour cycle, get us through tomorrow morning's runs, kind of see what the trends are amongst all the global models and the ensembles before we trigger any kind of alert days there. But you know, going into next week with that front down to the south and then eventually lifting back to the north, that does create the opportunity for several chances of showers. Not that it's going to rain every day. It certainly is not going to rain every day, all day. These would come in waves. The problem is this far out, we can't pinpoint, you know, what day has the best opportunity, because it could be any day just depending on when the disturbances roll on through the region. So that's what we have coming up. You know, it's relatively mild the next couple of days, not necessarily all that bright, but we do clear off Thursday afternoon. Friday, I got to say, is the pick day. Should be a little breezy, but hey, temperatures are cruising into the upper 60s, close to 70 degrees, and then we'll start to cool off Saturday afternoon. And then to start next week and the month of March, it will be on the chilly side.